Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this mystifying planet called Earth, I hope wherever you are located this day, evening, or night, you are having a tranquil time. Our topic for the day relate to the field of basketball and to the Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman. We never think, what has Dennis Rodman contributed to the NBA besides being an extraordinary rebounder, in addition to being an extraordinary defensive player? I believe he was a defensive player of the year at one time. I'm not sure because I didn't do no historical evidence. Right now, I'm looking at on ESPN Classic, The Last Dance. So I figure, hey, Dennis Rodman, he has contributed richly to NBA lore. But if Dennis Rodman did receive a Defensive Player of the Year, someone let me know in the comments section. You can back me up. Also, if you find this uh, discussions enlightening, please give me my thumbs up. Like I said, if you have a comment, leave a comment. If you would like to subscribe, subscribe. Now, on with how Mr. Dennis Rodman has greatly contributed to the NBA, and his inspiration even lasts to this day. But before I get into what he did, I'm gonna get to some of the other contributors who have influenced NBA styles and lore to this very day. We all know that basically, from what I know, the bald head looks comes from Michael Jordan. I could be wrong, but I remember during the 1990s when I started looking for NBA, I did not see a lot of people walking around with no bald head. For instance, in the 1980s, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was going bald, and he never shaved his head. Many of the players in the 80s and 90s were going bald. You saw that little spot on the top of their head, and very few of them cut their hair. But Michael Jordan said, hey, if I'm going bald, I must have cut the whole thing off. So he did. And up to this day, the society and the NBA has followed Michael Jordan leads. And when they start to go bald, many men, whether they black or white, maybe even Asians too, they cut their head. They shave their heads if they go on bald. Especially that race that looks like Michael Jordan, they definitely cut their hair off if they go on bald. So that's one thing he contributed. But I'm going to say, when I'm finished talking about Michael Jordan contributions, then I will get into the subject of this discussion, which is Rodman. Another thing Jordan contributed. Remember, back in the early days of the NBA in the 70s and even the 80s, even some of the 90s, the basketball players used to wear the short Daisy Dukes, like John Stockton. The shorts were so small and tight, it went all up in their butt. Damn. I said, damn, the shorts were tight. It, it fit the contour of their behind. That's how short it was. But Michael Jordan, from what I know, he's one of the first players, if not the first, who started wearing the more baggy looking shorts. Then after him, other basketball players, whether they were in college or in the NBA, started wearing shorts, basketball shorts similar to him. So that's what Michael Jordan contributed. But what Dennis Rodman contributed, it didn't contribute in fashion, but it has a lasting impact on NBA players. Remember Dennis Rodman? He was one of the first NBA players that I know of who had a plethora of tattoos on his bodies. Yes, I don't recall any NBA players previous to Dennis Rodman had their body basically covered with tattoos. They may have had one or maybe two tattoos to say I love you, mom, or I love my wife or my kids. But Dennis Rodman, he's the first one that I know of who made his body an artistic suite for the tattoo parlor. At the time, everybody was complaining about, damn, his body looked terrible with them tattoos. I remember that back in the 90s. They was complaining about his hair, which people didn't copy that, and those tattoos, which NBA players to this day has copied. Because now, I'm not saying all, but the vast majority of NBA players, whether they're white or black, have tattoos on their body. And I definitely recall a white NBA player. I think his name was the Birdman. I think he used to play for the Miami Heat when LeBron James was with the Miami Heat. His whole body, from his neck on down, was covered with tattoos, and they was colorful since he was white. His tattoos had color. They were blue, red, basically any color of the rainbow. So his tattoos was inspired by the Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman. Now, since Dennis Rodman was a person of color, he was not like the Birdman. Those weird and strange colors did not show up too good on his brown looking body. So the colors he had were primarily black, like many of the NBA players who resemble Dennis Rodman to this day. They have black tattoos on their body because the colorful tattoos don't show up wonderfully on their skin. So that's my little take of Dennis Rodman contribution to the NBA to this day. He has influenced the NBA fashion. Michael Jordan contributed to the NBA with having his head shaved and those baggy trunks, but it seemed like Dennis Rodman trademark has deeply influenced the NBA with those tattoos. If you know of any other NBA player of the past or the present who has changed the culture of the NBA without the NBA coming down hard on them like they did for the players in the 1990s who wore anything when sitting on the bench in street clothes. The NBA did not like the players coming to the game wearing pajamas. So they set the casual dress rule. I wonder why they didn't set a rule for the tattoos, but hey, that didn't affect, I guess, the business owners. So that's it, my good people. Thank you for stopping by on how Dennis Rodman has influenced the modern NBA players with making his body an artistic presentation for the the tattoo parlor. If you enjoyed this brief discussion on how Dennis Rodman a person who used to be in basketball infamy with his play on the Bad Boys, but now he's a glorious figure since he joined the Chicago Bulls' second three-peat team. Give me a thumbs up if you have any comments to make about Dennis Rodman or any other trend-setting player. Leave a comment. If you would like to subscribe for future content that I want to talk about, anything in sports, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, the list goes on and on and on. Please subscribe. Until the next time, dear listener, peace.